Don't blink, it's your blink. Welcome to our show. We're doing Wopsa having a wonderful day. We had a little nap, so we're back at making video at night. I guess the weather outside is simply phenomenal. That's why we're filming it, right? Today's subject is AI. So there's been a lot of controversy, a lot of talk about the AI lately. Now, admittedly, what I'm gonna say right now, all I'm gonna say today, there's no facts. I didn't research the subject, right? It's just a question of opinion, right? So there's been complaints about people. Oh, AI is taking over for artists. We even have the a giant in the world of animation, which is behind the Studio Ghibli. If you don't know the Studio Ghibli, they're not your most known studio, but they release quality product every single time. I couldn't even tell you one of the title of Studio Ghibli, but even I, as seen countless clips. That being said, we also have people that are completely using clips. For example, I've been seeing, and I'm going to be reacting to a couple of them, but I've been seeing a lot of clips that are completely AI generated. I've been on Twitter, right? And on Twitter, there's a lot of corn star or adult performer, right? And those adult performer, there's some that they're not true. You know that the body is not true. The whole profile is AI. So it's becoming a big issue. Especially because it is starting to become more and more. It's starting to become harder and harder to discern with AI. So, for example, I wanted to react to a video today. I kind of forgot to do it, but that video was about somebody. It's a normal person, right? And they're presenting a card and say, "Hey, this is a free card," and then you can see by the movement of their mouth that it's AI. So they took this person real picture, and they used AI to say, "Hey, this guy is saying it's true." Now, if you were mad, you were mad at this guy, but this guy has nothing to do with it. So this is a problem. We're gonna be talking about my opinion of AI, the pro, the con, my conclusion, and that's what will be the video. So I hope you enjoy it. So of course the cons are the cons are for the artist, but also human nature in itself. So human nature, I can, and again, it feels like I'm talking about myself, but I'm not. I'm gonna be the first one to say I have learned way more about myself doing this video for the past 4 years. We're reaching 4 years the 9th of May. Um, I've learned so much more about myself than I've learned through years and years and years and years of consuming content or media. And there's nothing wrong with consuming media or content, but then again, it is very hard to relate to other people and their reality. There's a person that you're going to be able to relate, going to be very similar, but you're not going to be able to relate to them at 100%, right? Now, with AI, you wouldn't be able to relate to them at all. See, the main problem with AI is, of course, the artist losing their job. You wanna, you wanna, you know what? Let's start with the positive. Let's start with the positive because you know what? I feel positive today. The positive of AI is actually quite simple. Comparison. There's something called the monopole, intellectual monopole, which is horrible. So, there's this person who's gonna be great, right? And this person is great, and they're great, and you always hear them. You always hear talking about them, and then you get excited, and then you watch them perform. Maybe music, acting, theater, painting, right? You always had people hype them up, and then you look at them, and you're like, okay, well, they're pretty average. And then you see everybody's in the audience, and they're clapping, and they're clapping, and they're clapping, and they're clapping. Um, and then you realize that you don't understand. So it's like, okay, well, you start asking yourself question, and you start asking other people question. Why do you like this person? And then you realize that the person is loved because of the notoriety. How many artists that we have today that are going to be putting a fucking cigarettes burn on a paper, and because they're super famous, right? You're gonna be like, oh my god, congratulations. There's no competition. There's trademark. For example, gonna be thinking about a Apple and a Samsung, a Huawei. How many other companies are out there that you don't know, because we're having market share, right? Market share, which is once again very prone for the AI. So as a streamer or as somebody that's on Instagram, I get approached so often by graphic designers, say, hey, let me make you a banner, let me make you your logo. I get 4 or 5 of these a day. Now, in those 4 or 5 of these a day, I can actually say, okay, well, you're more talented because I saw what you're doing. But if I didn't have 4 or 5 a day and I only had a couple, then even though they would be shitty, I would have the option to choose. So the AI will come in as a disruptive force, and this disruptive force is actually really positive. Okay, well, I have competition. What do? I either give up or I do better, right? Now, ultimately speaking, the AI one day will take over a human. But then you think about all of the job that we lost to automation of life. Um, uh, when the phone was first created, there was a person, a receptionist, who would transfer your call. So she would put a plug in a hole, and that would plug the call, right? Now the job doesn't exist. How many job is there? A blacksmith doesn't really exist anymore. And it's more of a novelty. How many job were lost due to the fact that, okay, well, we're putting robots. We're seeing robots and work workshop and plants, and to a certain degree, if they're doing dangerous job, then hell yes. But those people that are losing their job is it's a shame because they'll never get it back. And what I mean by that is a very simple example. I'm Canadian. Because of the current tension with America, a lot of the Amazon warehouse has closed. Now, these Amazon warehouse closing meant job were lost, right? Those job, even if you open up another shop, will be replaced by robots, right? Which is a problem. Robots in AI might not be the same thing, but again, we're taking away the human aspect, which is the biggest negative. Now, another positive for the AI is going to be cheap labor, right? So we have a lot of problem when it comes to economy. And I know what you're saying. Ink, you just talk about people losing their job, right? Which you just talk about somebody losing their job versus you're not talking about cheap labor as a positive. Well, most of the job are super super dangerous. What I mean by that, I'm not talking about cheap labor and your even if you look at the grocery store, how many cashier did we lose because of automatic machine? You scan and you pay. You took away job from people that were at cash, right? Now, it's easier, it's faster, but then again, we're lacking the human instrument. Now, what I mean by cheaper labor is I was looking at a job, right, which is at sea, and they were paying almost 100K a year. Now, when you look as to why, it's because a lot of people die during those jobs. It's like, okay, well, you're basically risking a lot. You look at firefighter, you look at police officer, right? There's a really high salary because it comes from a risk. So this the basic system of risk and reward, right? Now, would I take a robot officer? No. Would I take a robot firefighter? No. Would I have a situation of a shootout and I would have a robot be there instead of a police officer, a father, a mother that have kids at home? Absolutely, right? Plus, you're saying less risk, but a yeah, you're taking away the risk and reward. So less risk, more reward, right? So that's super important. The last positive with AI is I believe some concept. So in with me, I got ADHD. So what I'm gonna start doing is I'm gonna start having an ID, right? And that ID will be followed by another one. But that followed ID would have not happened if it wasn't for the first ID, right? So the AI is gonna come up with concept, and us human are gonna be like, okay, well, this is a good concept. Let's see how it's gonna happen. You look at Newton and the law of gravity. It all stemmed from an apple falling on its head. If there's no apple, there's no concept of gravity. There's a concept of gravity that is found much, much later in a different timeline, but it was supposed to happen that day. Nothing happened for a reason. And the negative of AI, again, we're taking away the human, we're taking away human work And I know what I've said, and I do maintain it. In a job that's very, very dangerous, don't risk human life, right? Risk something that's automated, that is battery function. But we're talking about normal job. We're talking about also what I find really disruptive. And again, I'm talking from a place of experience, and it's gonna be a very weird subject to do, but I don't care. Talking about SW, sex worker. Now, I have never hired a sex worker. I have never paid for an OnlyFans. However, I have a lot of friends as a content creator that are doing that, right? And with the AI, I'm seeing how disruptive it is because I'm seeing some of the quote unquote OnlyFans model, maybe FetLife, maybe FetLife, whatever you want to call it, right? That are using their charm to lure in lonely men and take advantage of that emotional distress, right? Now, it's a shame that it happens. It's something that is disgusting. However, there is a need fell. There's a need filled in both party. So the sex worker has a need filled when it comes to money, and the actual lonely person, although they're getting completely screwed, they don't care about being screwed. Not literally, of course, because that's the point of a SW, right? But they're having this feel of loneliness, this emotional need fill. So material need and emotional need, right? Which is cool. Discussing how it happens sometimes, but if both parties are happy, then why not, right? But then you think about a AI, and then you have an AI, right, that's taking advantage of an emotional person, and it's not two needs filled. It's a relationship. It's not a relationship of I scratch your back, you scratch my back. It's a relationship of can't scratch my back, I will never return it to you. And this is where it's break. I don't care how emotional abusive you are, as long as you're willing to give yourself a little bit versus somebody that doesn't is not willing to. It's like, okay, you're in a toxic relationship, right? But you still love the person versus a one night. You love the person, but you understand it's a one night, right? Next on the list, we have when it comes to, and I feel like I'm talking a lot about content creation, but as a content creator, it affects me, but as a content viewer also. But we've been seeing that for years. I've been working more on clips, and I've been working more on the behind the scene, and I'm watching a lot more YouTube. And I sort of got, I'll be scrolling and scrolling and scrolling, and people are using the same or very, very, very similar thumbnail. Where you click on the video, the thumbnail, right? Now, the problem with those thumbnails is the AI is it's extremely easy for him to understand that there's a success or a trend. For example, we had a famous athlete, Ashton something. Sorry, Ashton. He did this morning routine and it became viral. Even World of Warcraft did something, which was phenomenal. I have to say, the fact that they hop on the trend, congrats. But this just whatever. Ashton Martin is a car, it's not a person. But the trend, the AI would have been able to pick up that trend, take a person which is completely AI made and do the same routine, but it would have made a very pretty person, or yeah, a very pretty person, and beauty equal clicks, right? AI is also crazy, crazy dangerous because we have, for example, we're talking about okay, so talking about content creation, right? Content creation is a lot of people that are very successful because of their looks played, right? That's why your boy doesn't have to worry about that because hopefully will still be charismatic in 50 years. If I have that left. I'm 32, by the way. AI doesn't have to age, doesn't sleep. You're sleeping, he's making money, he's hustling. The concept of hard working, the concept of I worked harder than my neighbor will not exist. Because no matter how hard I work, I will never work as hard as an AI. That's a huge problem. Now, the next problem, which is crazy, crazy, crazy. To just finish as a content creator and the content viewer, it's well. Let's move on. What's gonna happen also? The AI. What's gonna happen is gonna start emulating or yeah, emulating human behavior and human quality of content or product. And then the main problem with AI is I'm all for supporting human working, right? The problem with AI is one day it's going to become as good as human work, and you won't be able to tell that it's a human that made that, or it's AI. And because you won't be able to tell, then the whole concept of we want to support a human goes out the windows, because anybody, which is the last point, anybody can take a piece of content, say I made it myself, right? I made it myself, but no, um, it's an AI. You can lie, so then you don't know what's the difference. And lastly, again, we're going for content creation, and I want to harp on the fact that of the content creation, because I think it's so fucking important. I'm a content creator. I'm not making a living out of it, but I still love to make content. My issue is, even though if I wouldn't be making content, I would be consuming content, right? I'd be consuming content. And before that, before we continue, we talked about a lot about the human nature, right? And you're like, yeah, but working with humans make me feel a certain type of way. The AI will emulate humans so much that you'll feel the same type of way dealing with a machine or with a human, right? Which is absolutely nuts. Continuing. I harp a lot on the content creation, but if I wasn't creating content, I would be watching content. So it doesn't matter if you're creating or you're watching. The whole entire media will be fucking AI. Will be fucking AI, and that's gonna be disruptive. You're always thinking, oh, that's in 10 years. That's in 10 years. That's in 10 years. 10 years ago, the iPhone 6 came out. I think the 6. How crazy was that? You guys remember that? It's gonna go so fast. So to finish that video, I want to say this. Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I didn't finish the last point. The last point is laziness. And again, we're gonna go with content creation. We're gonna go with. See, I saw something that was really, really nice with Matt Damon, not too long ago, and he was saying, "Why are DVDs? Why are movie not good anymore?" And Matt Damon was like, "Well, before when we made movies, we could rely on the DVD sale to kind of, have more money. So, well, this movie cost me 120 million. It made 90 million in the box office. However, I made 40 millions out of the DVDs. I made 10 millions, right? Now, DVDs are something of the past. We have live streaming platforms. So the budget of DVDs or movies is a lot lower, which means the quality went down, right? Now, what's gonna happen is with content creator, it's gonna be crazy. There's 3 things that's gonna happen that are very, 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 very scary. The first thing that's gonna happen is a lot of content creator are gonna be there, even for work. I'm gonna talk about content creator, but think about a worker, right? I'm talking about this because this is my job, this is my dream job. But think about a normal worker. I'm gonna tell you, hey, I'm allowing you to work 30 years to be that amount of cash, and you'll have pride, and you'll be like, yo, I work for this, right? And then I'll give you the same deal, but I'll give you the money up front. I'll give you the money today. You don't have to work hard for it. I understand that pride, that this feeling of I did something, of accomplishment, is great, but it will never, never beat the mentality of I want everything, I want it now, and I do not want to work for it. We're seeing this with Amazon. We're seeing this once again with the live streaming services. So this is a very scary part. We're going to become very lazy because the AI is going to be something that is... See, for example, people that were filming 10 years ago didn't have the editing tool that we have now. There's literal school of social media, and the social media, like it or not, is part of everybody's life. So let's get away the fact that I'm talking about something that's not relatable. It is relatable. So people are not going to be wanting to work. They'll take the easy route of the AI, which is almost guaranteed result because the AI follows a trend, right? And it will be bad. It will be really, really bad when you're making content, when you're uploading content on YouTube. What's going on? The AI will analyze the video to say, hey, did he swear? Did he talk about something that he's not supposed to talk about? Is there usage of drugs or weapons? Is there illegal activities? As the AI analyzed the whole video. What if it was able to interpret the video? That's something different. Next on the list, we had the laziness out of it. I think a lot of people are gonna understand that. For example, right now we're filming a video. right? Which is technically true, technically not true. So I'm filming this, right? And I'm also filming this. You see the phone? I'm playing a game. I'm filming outside. I'm also doing some clips. We're playing two games. Why I do that? Because it's nicer to do. Why do an hour's job in an hour when I can do a 4 hours job in an hour? Why do it? So people are gonna understand that the only way, and again, it's gonna be a question of competition. You're not gonna be able to make it without cheating. So we're talking about also about some sports where it's becoming normal to use certain drug enhancement. How about bodybuilding, where they have competition that is natural. They do test for drug enhancement. And the funny part is, those people are natty, if you know the term, but those people are natty, but nobody gives a fuck about the competition. It gets a fraction of the views of normal competition. And that's super sad. A lot of people won't care where the content come from. A lot of people, I'm going to ask you this question, okay? I'm going to sell you two chickens. They're both roasted. They both taste the same. One of them is $3. It's a normal chicken. The other one is $8. It's a biological chicken. It's bio. It's farm grown. You're all about paying the extra, right? For the farmer, right? Now with the inflation, let's go with another price. Let's go with a price of I don't know, $9 for chicken, but 21 for bio chicken. Are you still willing to pay more than twice the price? I don't think so. I have to go. The battery's a bit low. Give me a sec. I'll be right back. Human nature, ladies and gentlemen. Human nature, in all of its glory. See, as simple as this. Something went wrong. We fixed it. Right? I was there. I was able to take care of the problem. Not even a problem. Or is it? If I wasn't there, the battery would have died. The video would have been lost, right? But I wasn't there to take care of it. And that is what AI will do. It will be there nonstop. It will go forward more of the human effort. And that's the scary part. It's really scary. So people are going to be understanding that it's becoming the new normal. When everybody uses AI, when everybody is able to see, I am hardworking, thank God. I have a good work ethic, thank God. I have a lot of IDs, thank God. But I'm also really, really busy with content, thank God. But most people aren't that inspired. I've been making content for 4 years. Do you think I have as many ID that I have back then? No, it's normal. See, I'm gonna be reaching a point, maybe not soon, maybe not in the near future, but some point where I don't have any ID for videos, and I didn't have any ID for videos for a while. So I started doing some React content, right? And there's nothing wrong with that. But this is even reaction content is okay. Well, I didn't have an ID for no visual content, so I'm gonna put my input on another content, which is great. Do you, however, understand that the AI will also do that? The AI will take trending videos, will make their own version, will react to them. It's scary. It's very scary. Now I'm afraid that the battery will die. Um, I think to just finish the video, um, it's a shame, dude. I'm imagining a very soon where everybody's gonna be using AI and you're gonna be the guy that didn't follow trend. It's like the Bitcoin, right? The Bitcoin. Nobody believed in it, but if you were crazy enough to believe in it, you made a fortune, right? And now when everybody proved to you that you were doing good, it was too late. This is what's gonna happen with AI. People are like, nah, I don't want to use AI. I don't believe in that shit. And then one day, you'll be like, well, everybody else is fucking using it. What am I supposed to do? I can't compete. I can either join or be defeated, right? A lot of us has values, right? I'm not saying I'm gonna be using AI tomorrow. A lot of us has values. A lot of us has morals, right? Those morals and values, how strong will they be when you'll be hungry? right? To finish the point, I am against using AI in the content. I am against using AI art. I am against you replacing human nature with a simulated human nature. I am against all of that. But I have to admit that it's some kind of progression, right? And just like any single revolution, like every single progression, it's unavoidable, right? There's gonna be one day, someday, maybe tomorrow, maybe in a year, maybe in 10 years, where it'll be all be around us and we won't even notice. And that's a shame. That's a scary part. It's not about am I against AI? It's about do I have a choice? And the answer is no. One day you won't have a choice. One day I will be part of you. I want to come back to a problem that is actually quite simply human nature. Quite simply. You have homeless people. Homeless people used to ask for change. A lot. 20 years ago, people had change, right? Then there was inflation, and then people stopped carrying change. Like, oh, I'm going to have a bill, it's going to be easier, right? Nowadays, everybody's walking around with Apple Pay. When is the last time you had actual cash on you when you went out to eat? So if a homeless person asks you, can I have some change? Imagine saying, I only have Apple Pay. And it's crazy to say, but it happens, right? 5 years ago, I would have said that same scenario. You would have called me crazy. It's scary. It's scary. Anyway, love you guys. Take it easy. Peace.